It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Hello to all. Welcome to Divas That Care Network. I am Joyce Benning, and I will be your host for this really invigorating, robust lifestyle show. I just want to thank each one of our listeners today that have tuned in live and will be tuning into the podcast. I am just very grateful for each one of you. And you are in for a very special treat today because I am just overly excited today to have with me my returning diva, Sandra Mendelson. And we are going to chat about navigating through these times. Oh, wow. Is this going to be fun? Sandra, would you take a moment and introduce yourself to our listeners, please?
Oh, I'd be happy to. I at least for the past decade, I am a channel of animal consciousness. So at this point, about 85 species have come through with messages for humanity, and specifically a lot of them right now to help us deal with exactly what's going on right now, and the division and the stresses and the questioning everything, what's safe. So the animals have come through with wonderful insights, and I also do animal communication with clients to work one-on-one with their animal partners. But today we're really focusing on what pertains to all of us. What tools do the animals have that we may not have or may not be aware of because we're stuck in a human condition to get us through this, with grace and constantly learning and increasing our understanding, acceptance, and peace.
Yes.
I have to laugh
Yes.
every time I say that because most of the people I know are not very peaceful right now, myself included.
That is so interesting because I have just been telling my husband the last few days, just look how calm the animals are right now. I mean, we have cattle and calves, and they're just all really calm. We even have a young bull that has been, he's kind of had an attitude at times. He's kind of like a teenager. I'm me, and I'm going to do what I want. And just here lately, he has even been so calm. And my horses, the calmness and the peace that they are radiating off. And I really feel, and I want to ask your thoughts on this, do you think they're radiating that peace and calmness to us humans so that we take note and watch what they are doing and listen to what they're trying to tell us?
They do it for multiple reasons, and that is one of the main ones. In fact, I got a corollary or a complementary message because lately I've been noticing large birds like cranes and ibises. And why will they just fly and park on someone's car or fly alongside their car? And they've showed up a lot for me lately, and I got the message more than once. They land where they do because that person, needs peace. The animal cows have told me before they choose peace above all. So the more, this again, how brilliant a teacher, that the more the drama, the intensity, the energetic knobs are turned up, and that includes electromagnetic frequencies and human emotion, the more those knobs get turned up, the more peaceful our beautiful teachers choose to be. Right? Not just for us, for themselves too. I mean, let's be honest, they have to. They're smart. The place they go is the best place for their health, right? And to go to peace, to calm their own nervous systems. And, again, I can only implore that no matter, and I'm guilty of the same thing, and I feel myself change. When you are not in nature, when you go days or more, where you are only in the human vibration, do not be surprised if you feel frayed at the edges because humanity is upside down. We are all connected, and you are picking up on everything across the globe, especially on the internet. So the animals and I am imploring you all, go outside in nature and just sit and notice how you melt and you find you over and over and over again.
Oh, yes. Oh, how beautiful, because, oh, how truthful that is. When you just take those moments and just, it's kind of like you recharge yourself. You let go of all the things that are around you and just go out in nature and just enjoy the moment out there, just like the animals do. I mean, I know they're I feel they're feeling all the energy that's wrapped up in this world too, and that's why they are trying to be the peaceful and calmness ones that they are. And yes, but going out in nature is just magnificent for me. It's my therapy.
Well, that's the healthiest therapy of all. But again, it is species specific. You know, our larger animals are holding that space of calm. And then I've noticed that the squirrels are more frenetic than ever. And as are the birds. They will just, you know, I've been watching them and feeding them every morning for years now, and I've noticed a change because they can't escape what's in the air, you know, whether you're dealing with shortwave and, you know, all kinds of EMFs and all the stress in the human. So they're acting more skitsy than ever, you know. So it's so dangerous to make generalizations. You know, every species is different. Every soul is at a different level. You know, you just kind of see patterns. But this topic, actually, we could divide into two because there's no way we'll get into everything today.
No way.
Oh, never can. No matter how fast I speak, and that always seems to work against us. So I got to go slowly. So I'm hoping I'll just cover a few that might be a little bit different than what people are hearing on the subject of surviving the now from other humans. I'm hoping these might make you go, ooh, didn't know about that. So the first one is from the Whole Animal Collective on caring for our changing bodies as they evolve. All of us are here because these are universal messages. Time is speeding up. We animals all feel it. Physical bodies are changing as a result. That is why you may be feeling pain or having health issues. Remember, grounding mechanisms are being challenged, so work to stabilize yourselves. Now, more than ever, go out into nature. It is fine, even required, to be more still and stop exercise at times. Your body will not suffer. Listen to your bodies. Do not force. We know this is a challenge, but your bodies are being energetically altered so that you can withstand and sail through upcoming and ongoing changes. You are becoming vessels of light. Let go of what you think you know as truth about the body and its treatment. What matters is clean and whole. Forget labels, they are all lies. We know this is not an easy transition, but you can do it. Go slowly, rest often. So, you know, whether we're looking at supplements, you know, when you dig and dig and dig, and it can be very disheartening when you find that the companies, the products that you trusted, right? You turn over all leaves and you find out things that are just really make your head spin because, you know, so that's probably why the animals keep saying, you know, don't get caught up in supplements and labels because there's a lie in there in most cases. There's some, but it takes a lot of digging right down to their processes and where they source things and the water they use and whether or not there are metals and contaminants in there. It goes on and on and on. So again, clean and whole and less reliance on a label or on something that is manufactured. Try to keep those to a minimum.
Oh, I love that. Clean and whole, and listen to your body. Your body tells you so much if you just stop and listen to it. I mean, it is amazing how, because your body, it will let you know if I can tell, okay, now that doesn't sound good. I don't want that today. Or am I really that hungry today for that? Or do I really need that? Your body will let you know if you just take the time to listen. Like you said, go slow, and how true that is. Go slow and listen to your body and do it clean and whole. And wow, how true that is. And that's why I feel, do you feel that's how the animals, I mean, I know they rely on us for the food that we feed them and stuff, but they're still caring for their bodies, be it, I mean, I think in a lot of spiritual ways is the way they ground themselves and they relax when they know they're tired. They lay down. I'll watch the horses or the cows and all at once, down they go. Like, okay, it's time to lay down now.
Yeah, I watch my dog very carefully, and he's extremely wise. He knows exactly how much vegetable matter he can handle. And if I give him some broccoli as a snack, then he won't go and eat weeds. If he doesn't get some green, he will go and eat weeds. And, you know, some vets will make you think that the dog is deficient. I'm sorry, I disagree. My dog eats extremely well. We won't go down that path. You know, said the research maniac here, but they do know how to balance their bodies much better than we do. They know if they're too alkaline or too acidic, if given good choices. Let me rephrase that. You know, if you're feeding your dog junk, and it's given with love, the dog's going to eat it, and he may get sick, and he may not put two and two together and say, it was that particular dog food you gave me that made me feel bad. Squirrels will say, well, we'll eat junky human food, but then we can get sick afterwards. We'll eat it. We're opportunistic and we're hungry, but we feel sick after eating a donut.
Yeah.
So, right, exactly. It's, you know, think of it as a combo effort. You know, you got to at least do some research and know what you're feeding your animals. But anyway, back off the animal food subject, and the human food, right? I mean, you know, you want clean and whole for you, and you want to do your best to do clean and whole for your animal partners.
Right.
So
exactly.
You know, now more of I actually saw an osprey sitting on a cell tower, and I'm like, why are you doing that when you could sit anywhere? And the bird said to me, because nothing can harm you if you allow it to pass through you. Biggest human problem is that emotionally or whatever, we hold on to stuff, emotion, trauma. And so this next one, which really is titled, If You're a Sensitive, Protect Your Energy Field, has a component in it to remind us to let things out, creating a channel above and below us. So this is, again, all animals. And again, and noticing what we're feeling right now, because a lot of people are feeling all kinds of whacked out things, and they really haven't put two and two together. So here we go. If extreme emotions run through you that seem unrelated to your personal experience, it is because you are releasing trauma experienced by everyone, including you. Society's confusion, anger, anxiety, grief, frustration, and more are passing through you and may seem to turn off and on like a light switch. We animals knew this would happen given the unrest around you. If this is your experience, your sensitivity is greater than you know, similar to ours, but with human levels of biology and chemical thrown awry. Daily energy work to protect and strengthen your energy field is critical to enable energies to flow and not get trapped within you. Envision an outlet above and below you. So I am guilty of getting really enslaved by my to-do list. And I notice what happens when I don't do this, when I don't ever make even a few minutes to pay attention to energy. And then you get caught up in a maelstrom of do's and reactions and responding to news and people's opinions. And then you feel cruddy. So if you imagine just closing your eyes and picturing, you know, an outlet where you can let things out above and below you, right? Or imagine bringing beautiful light through the top of your head and having that open channel out through your feet. But the whole point is having the flow. We tend to forget that. Got to let it out, got to let it out, got to let it pass through you.
Yes, how beautiful. We have to let these emotions go through us, and not too many times us humans want to bottle them up inside. And just like I know when people always say, well, how are you today? Oh, I'm fine. And it's like, yeah, really. You're going, yeah. And sometimes when you say it, you go, why did I say that? That wasn't really the truth.
Well, and then if you're around someone who is the sensitive walks away feeling crummy and has to be conscious enough to say, wait a minute, I was feeling good and now I'm feeling really crummy. That was not my sadness. That was not my anxiety. That was not my frustration. All of a sudden I'm feeling, they say pay attention to your internal state. That's all the animals do too. That, as I've said before, they don't focus on growing and evolving. They just are spending more and more time noticing their internal state and how they react. It's that simple. We make everything complex. So again, noticing if you're having wacky feelings that come and go, just remember it's not you. And create an outlet and imagine everything's flowing through you, top to bottom. Let it out.
Let it out. Yeah.
Yeah, let it out. Let it out.
That is so interesting because, I love that.
Right?
Let it out.
The animals, they were always seemingly a step ahead of us because, here there's so many of us that are trying to, raise our vibration, come from love and gratitude and kindness. I mean, we know, but it's impossible to hold that state all the time, because of what I mentioned. You're connected to everything and you're still in a 3D human body, which is dense and it pulls you back. So the body's trying to shift. So, the animals, again, the whole animal kingdom said, expect the waves. You're not going backwards. Shifts in consciousness come in waves. It is natural to have ebbs and flows in your awareness. Ebbs and flows do not mean you're going backwards. You are integrating halos of consciousness into your being and behavior. Putting wisdom into practice takes time, repetition, and patience with self. So it's really easy to lose patience with yourself. It's especially when you've had a moment where you just feel, you've had those moments where you're so in your heart and you're peaceful and you're grateful. And then when the icky emotions come, it's so easy to say, what happened to me? Bad. Yeah. I don't want to be here. Right. And then you resist it, and then it really doesn't go away. So if we just kind of, again, this takes a lot of attention, and we have to keep repeating these behaviors, because at least I do, because you forget. We have so much info that comes at us. So, if you start feeling the crummy emotions, you just have to say, it's a wave. I'm not slipping. I didn't lose anything. You may feel so aware and so connected, and then like you flatlined. You'll go through phases, and I have, where I can't hear the animals. I don't feel connected, and the first reaction is to feel sad or frustrated, and yet this is part of the whole process. It's ebbs and flows. There you go.
Oh, that is so beautifully described. I just love that, because I was just thinking of instances with myself. I can get around a lot of people and you start to feel that negative energy. And for me personally, it starts to pull me down. And then I'm going, what? Why do I feel this way? And I'm going, it's the negative. I feel for myself, it's the negative energy that's coming off of those people. Like you said, we are around so many different things, be it people, be it emails, be it our computers, just different, the telephone, the phones, the everything, TVs, it's everywhere. And you start to feel that negative energy and you're going, this isn't how I want to feel. And I think it all kind of goes together to being aware of what your body is trying to tell you. Don't blame yourself for it. It's the negativity that you need to let go of from what you've received from others, too, is how I look at it in personal experience.
Spot on. I'm so glad you mentioned that, because I literally have pulled into a parking lot at a supermarket I didn't want to go to, and I rarely ever go. And I started feeling horrible things, and I'm talking to myself like I'm two people, and I'm crying, like, what just happened to you? Why are you filled with rage? Why you're angry and nothing even happened, and you just pulled your car up, and I'm like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. It was like crazy stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with you. It just really does help to compare notes with other sensitives, because even people that aren't so sensitive are starting to have these kinds of experiences. So yeah, this is a real time for internal awareness and compassion.
Yes,
having compassion for yourself is a toughie, you know, when you go, okay, I can be compassionate for all those people, but for me, I just had a bad thought, or all of a sudden I yelled and my poor dog is looking at me like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to yell. It's not you, it's me. You know, that kind of thing. Yeah, it's definitely not boring. But again, I think everybody on this call is probably going to want to like hop on a plane and just go hang with you in the pasture with the cows and the horses. Because
it is just magical.
You know,
it truly is.
I think as the numbers of us grow, go ahead, please.
No, go right ahead. As the number of us grow, that sounds great.
Where we are becoming aware that the animals will always lead us back to what our truth is. You know, they show you the way through all this complexity and a million different opinions and ways and things to do, and they just, you know, watch them. It's those videos, as we mentioned, are really therapeutic if you can't go and be with animals. And you'll notice what happens. All of a sudden, you're like unraveling in a good way. You know, your tension just leaves your body, and there you are again. Just watch them. So they would like rate the lowlies on the totem pole. Man, and mankind is at the top of the pyramid. And now the numbers of us are starting to realize, wait a minute, we got this whole pyramid thing all screwed up. It is a circle of life. And, you know, just the way we are so brilliant in manipulating materials and creating solutions and concrete reality that can benefit every species, well, the animals show us how to get back to our heart, our peace, and our joy.
Yes.
So we need each other. We all need each other. They need us and we need them, believe it or not, from a larger, you know, wide angle perspective, you know?
Oh, yes. Oh, I'm so glad you said that, because I always, and I've said this on different calls too, I just feel we all need each other. We all evolve together. We all live under the same sky. We all breathe the same air. We all have a soul. We all need each other to survive. And when we come to that realization, it's such a great feeling. And how you appreciate the leaves on the trees, how they're changing color now. We need to see that. We need to see those vibrant colors at this time to really make us realize the trees go through changes too, just like we do. Everything does. And even like the horses, they're growing their winter coats, the cattle, and then come spring, they'll lose them again. But they don't go, oh no, I'm losing my hair. What am I going to do? Or I'm growing more. What am I going to do? I mean, it's just natural. And I feel just like you, we all need each other. And look at these things in life that they can teach us of how, like change, for instance, is one thing that, to me, they adapt so well to change. And it's us humans that are like, want to pull away from it sometimes. And I mean, change it's for the good, just like I said with the animals, growing the hair now. It's a change, but it's a good change because it'll help keep them warm for the winter months. So, yes.
That is
I
one
love
of
that.
I even say that at the beginning or on the back of the book, they are masters of adaptability. And horses will say, well, it's usually because we're not driving the bus. Humans are controlling our lives. But if you look at animals in the wild, they're constantly adapting to changes in topography and climate and food sources and water, right? I mean, drought.
Yeah.
So, and there are some people that would say animals don't need us. We're the ones that screwed it up. But I'm talking about the way things are right now. Even, which is true, if it's humans that have created all the problems in the world, sorry about that. I don't know who's calling me. Even if it is that, well, guess what? The animals need other humans to dig our way out of the existing problems, whether it be climate change, food sources, toxicity. So we, again, that we still need each other. Right. I like the way you put that. I really do. There's such roles being performed by even the smallest creatures in the animal kingdom, keeping our biosphere going. People talk about how the whales, what they do energetically in cleaning the oceans, and what happens when they brought wolves in, and then all the biodiversity came back, and the land was better, and so yes, seeing how all the pieces are intricate to the one puzzle. Bingo.
It just all fits together, and I just love that so much. Well, Sandra, like I knew this would go just speed by this interview. I knew we wouldn't have time to talk. Like you said, we'll break it down in two things, and we barely got those covered. But we have.
We only got a few, but
a very few. What would be some of the a final tip that you would like to leave as a thought for our listeners to take from what you and I have chatted about today?
The final tip always comes back to the same thing, because right now more than ever before, whether it's traditional sources of news or all the alternative sources that are popping up in our quest for truth and understanding what is safe, where are my freedoms? I mean, humans are dealing with so many issues they have never had to deal with, certainly in the last few hundred years that we're aware of, right? And it's global. Right. So the number one thing is to the best of your ability, take a break in nature, and being. And I don't want to harp on the being compassionate for self, because it always really does come down to that. But if you could just, yes, especially if you feel those crazy emotions and you're like, wait, I was happy 2 minutes ago. This is not what I want to put out into the world. Just realize it's energy in motion, and it's passing. Imagine everything passing through you, and it goes away much faster than if you beat yourself up and say, oh, that's not love, light, peace, and marshmallows. So yeah, just realize everything is moving, and imagine everything moving through you, and go outside into nature and as much as you can, and notice the difference in how you feel when you're only around humans. And when you take a break away from buildings, that's a big one. Just notice what happens inside of you. Notice the calm and your heart rate and your emotions and that gripping tightness in your throat or your chest going away. So you're not crazy. And then we'll have other tips next time, because there'll be a different perspective that the animals share as well.
Yes. Oh, Sandra, that was just beautiful. I just loved it. I could feel it was coming from your heart, and it gave me chills all over, because I just love what you just said. That was such great tips to leave with our listeners today as they navigate through these times. Absolutely beautiful. And as Sandra said, listeners, she will be back, and we will give you more tips. In November, we will have Sandra back, and we can chat some more. And thank you so much for being my guest and bringing all this animal knowledge into our lives. Thank you so much, Sandra.
Thank you. It takes two. Everybody's can contribute to the story, and you always contribute such a beautiful perspective from living with the animals and noticing. So thank you for sharing that.
You are so welcome, and thank you too. Oh, what a great time chatting with you. I loved every moment. And I would like to thank all of our listeners for listening to this absolutely amazing interview with our incredible diva, Sandra Middleton. And please share this interview with all your family and friends. And be sure to check out all the other hosts and their shows on divasthatcare.com. Remember, have a fantastic day. Be kind to yourself and be kind to others. Go outside in nature and just enjoy. Enjoy the air. Enjoy the moment. And give your animals that great big extra hug and share your love with them. And until we connect again on Robust Lifestyles, stay strong and healthy.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.